Welcome to CognitionChunks. This is the sound of silence, decoding muted moments in chat. Exploring types of silence in human communication. In most conversations, silence often stands as the antithesis of communication. However, this perspective only skims the surface of the complexities inherent in the act of remaining silent. Silence is not a one-size-fits-all concept but exists in various forms, each carrying unique implications, intentions, and messages. This article aims to dissect the types of silence that permeate human communication, exploring the psychological, cultural, and social dimensions. Types of silence. Comfortable silence. Definition: a mutually understood and accepted silence that often occurs between close friends or loved ones. Communicative functions: reinforces closeness, builds emotional intimacy, provides space for contemplation. Awkward silence. Definition: a lack of conversation marked by tension or discomfort. Communicative functions: indicates social discord, misaligned expectations, or the absence of a common conversational anchor. Contemplative silence. Definition: silence adopted when individuals are deeply engrossed in thought. Communicative functions: provides mental space for problem-solving, decision-making, and internal reflection. Respectful silence. Definition: silence maintained out of respect, such as during national anthems or moments of remembrance. Communicative functions: honors specific people, events, or cultural norms, conveys solemnity and reverence. Loaded silence. Definition: silence that carries emotional weight or tension, often due to unspoken feelings or unresolved issues. Communicative functions: highlights emotional subtext, calls attention to underlying issues that may need to be addressed. Political silence. Definition: silence maintained to avoid engaging in controversial topics or discussions. Communicative functions: protects against conflict but can perpetuate ignorance or unresolved social issues. Ritualistic silence. Definition: silence as a part of religious or spiritual practices. Communicative functions: contributes to individual or collective spiritual growth, forms a communal experience. Passive-aggressive silence. Definition: intentional silence aimed to manipulate or punish the other person. Communicative functions: sends a message of discontent or disapproval without verbal confrontation. Psychological perspectives. The role of silence in emotional regulation: how different silences can either ameliorate or exacerbate emotional states. Attachment styles and silence: how the manner in which people experience and utilize silence can reflect their attachment patterns. Cultural dimensions. Silence in Eastern cultures. In cultures like Japan, silence is often seen as a sign of wisdom and maturity. Silence in Western cultures. Contrarily, Western cultures often value vocal participation and interpret silence as non-involvement or ignorance. Social implications. Silence as power. In some settings, maintaining silence can be a tactic to exert control or establish dominance. The gender dynamics of silence: how silence can be gendered, affecting men and women differently in social contexts. Conclusion. The types of silence in human communication serve as both a mirror and a window reflecting internal states and projecting unspoken messages. Recognizing the intricacy of these silences not only enhances our understanding of human interaction but also enriches our emotional vocabulary. Alternative perspectives. One cultural construct: silence can be heavily influenced by cultural norms, and what is considered comfortable or awkward may vary greatly depending on the cultural context. This complicates any attempt at a universal categorization of types of silence. 2. Non-communicative silence. Not all silence is intended to communicate. Some instances of silence may stem from neurological or psychological conditions like selective mutism, making it imperative not to universally attribute communicative intent to all forms of silence. Understanding these nuances can offer a more well-rounded view of how silence functions in various spheres of human life. Was this accurate? Did GPT just make up a bunch of stuff that does not exist or does not make sense? Was that a truth bomb from GPT, or just a smoke grenade? Find out the real deal in our next Cognition Chunks installment.